This is my 2024 Honda Grom. I've owned it for just over a year and it has not a lot of kilometers on it. 2323. Oh, that's a funny number. Most of that is actually done this season, which is hard to believe considering it's only the beginning of June. As most of you guys know, I bought this bike to commute across town when I lived about 10 minutes from work and lived in the city that I worked in. I no longer have that living situation, and I've been using this bike to commute on rural county roads with 80-kilometer speed limits, which it has been able to do for the most part. Wind and inclines are a slight issue. I wasn't considering selling it really up until yesterday when I was in the Honda dealer and they had a sweet little I'm not going to say what it is just in case I buy it. I want it to be kind of a surprise. They had an older bike, significantly older, significantly higher displacement, and in the super sport category. So I decided that today I needed to experience this bike the way it was intended to be experienced in case this is the end with this bike. So let's talk about it and go for a ride. I'll bring you around my little town and point out all of my favorite places and places of significance. First of all, the building I decided to start this video behind is just gorgeous. I mean, would you get a look at that? This used to be an old train station and I just absolutely love the architecture of it. The old brick with the tall windows. They don't make them like they used to. I feel like nothing is made to be beautiful anymore. It's just made to be functional, and that's a shame, but that's a topic for another day. Alright, this is what I believe they call Talbot Street. This is the main drag that kind of goes through. It's also got the older like businesses and stuff. Like all those old buildings are still up here. So as I was saying, I went into the Honda dealer, Holly Golly in London, for those of you in the area that know what I'm talking about. And they had an older sport bike with significantly higher displacement, about 8 times the displacement of this bike. That's cool. 8 times the displacement of this bike, which is a little bit intimidating if I'm going to be honest. I've ridden 600s before and big bore Harleys, like I think was 103 cubic inches was the bike that I've had the most experience on. I think, don't quote me on that. You Harley guys will know it was an Electra Glide from, I want to say 2012 or something like that. So that's pretty much the extent of my big bike experience. I don't think this light's ever going to turn green. We're going to go right and we'll make a U-E somewhere. So the big displacement is a little bit intimidating if I'm going to be honest. But at the same time, I drive Porsche GT3s, and as long as you don't drive them at 9/10 or 10/10, they're kind of manageable. So, oh shoot, if I decide to go that route, I'm just gonna take it easy and work on my throttle inputs and everything being smooth. So if I'm only riding the bike at like one or two tenths. I've been working my way up. I should be fine, right? No nannies, but we lived without nannies for all of recorded history up until, well, motorcycles up until, I don't know, the last 20 years or so didn't have traction control or ABS. Didn't have riding modes, so people have been doing it for a long time. I don't see any reason why it can't still be a viable option. Yes, I love technology and improvements, but old school is still fun. Carburetors are a little finicky, but I don't mind. Alright, we're back onto the main drag. So most of my teens and my early to mid 20s, anytime we came down here, Legends was the place to stop. We would get a pound of wings. I would always go with their in-house sauce. I'm still signaling. So they call it the Legend sauce. It comes in medium or mild, medium, and hot. I'm currently on the medium, working my way up. Love that place. They have incredible breading on their chicken wings. So after I left the Honda dealer yesterday, I gave my insurance company a call, hoping that it would make my decision easy, because I love this bike and I will be sad to see it go if I part ways. But I can't have two motorcycles in my stable. At this point, I just don't have the financial resources for that. My planned progression, honestly, was modify the Grom, then step up to a 400, preferably the ZX4RR, and then from there we'll see, maybe go up to a 600 or something else. And so skipping all of those wasn't really what I was thinking, but here we are. So after I got off the phone with my insurance company, they let me know that my insurance would be prorated for the rest of my term, which is up in the end of August. So for like the next 3 months it would be $20 a month more, and then it would be about $100 more per year the next year, starting in September, which I was incredibly surprised about. I wasn't expecting it to be so attainable. I'd gotten insurance quotes on other bikes before. I think it was, I got a quote on a 600 last year, and it was ridiculous, like completely unattainable. So I was expecting that to be the answer, and then it just, all right, move on, be satisfied with what we have. But it gave me the decision. So decided, side note, that old train bridge up there has a really beautiful walking path. It's a great place to go for a walk on a summer evening. And it starts way over there somewhere and goes all the way across. I look like an idiot pointing around like this. It goes all the way across the bridge, and then it turns into like a gravel running path, walking path for, I don't know, 5 to 10 kilometers or something like that. It's really cool that they kept a piece of the railroad history and repurposed it. And then over on my left, we've got every child's favorite thing, the giant elephant. No, I think the elephant's name is Jumbo. She has a statue. I think the lore is that she stepped out onto the train track to protect her calf, and I think she died in the process. I would have to look that up to confirm it. So the insurance being what it was made me really consider it seriously. So I emailed the sales representative that I was talking to about the bike and asked if he would be in tomorrow around noon so that I could get my bike appraised for a trade-in. And so that's my plan. Tomorrow I'm going to go see what they'll give me for my bike, and if the numbers work, I will have a serious decision to make. Part of me thinks trading in the bike would be a good way to kind of jumpstart my increased video quality, if that makes sense. So I'm working with an old laptop right now that has a really hard time editing, and a GoPro Hero 7, which is perfectly fine. I've got no qualms about that. But I really like the idea of having a 360 camera as well. So if I could trade in my bike, get some cash on top, ride that bike, make content with it, and be able to invest a little bit of money into my production, I feel like I would be able to put a little more effort into my videos. Because currently what I've been doing is literally upload the footage, cut it, and then export it, put it straight to YouTube, because that's literally all my laptop can handle. It does not process very well. It's really slow. I got it from my mom and dad Christmas of, I want to say 2017, 2018. So Windows laptops don't seem to hold up very well after time. And I've had my eye on a MacBook since I was just out of high school, and never pulled the trigger. Everyone's out for a ride. What a great day. Also, a bigger bike would allow me to take Emily for rides. I don't know how much fun this would be to go 2 up on. I've never actually tried it. And this is where it all started for me. St. Thomas Hospital. That's where I was born. I'm not from this area anymore because we moved away when I was, I think 8. So it took me like 21 years to come back. Alright, we're like 20 minutes into this ride, maybe a little more. I really understand the appeal to this bike again. Like, I kind of got a little bored of it, if I'm honest. It's on the highway. It's not capable. I can't pass anyone if they're doing 75 in an 80 zone because I literally can't build up enough speed to go around them. Unless I had like an insanely straight piece of road with no elevation change and I got a good run at it. It's just kind of frustrating, but in town, this bike is incredible. And I think if I do part ways, I will have to buy one again when I can have more than one bike in the stable, because it's just so much fun to bomb around town on. Like, nobody bats an eye at the cute little bike going full throttle, because it doesn't really make that much noise and it doesn't move very quick. This fourplex here is owned by my mom and dad. It's the place that we moved to first when we moved to St. Thomas. Luckily, like, the timing just worked out beautifully when I got my job at Porsche, that they got a vacancy in the fourplex, and so we were able to move right in. Alright, that's a little loop of the city of St. Thomas, the place I call home. Thank you so much for watching this video and listening to my squirrel brain talk about bikes and life and little things I find interesting. If you like this video, leave me a like. If you think I should go ahead and upgrade, get into a bigger bike, leave me a comment down below. If you think I should stay on the Grom, just say you're crazy. You're not ready for that. And if you haven't already, please hit that please hit that subscribe button. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And full transparency, I'm sure most of you guys know that 1,000 is the minimum subscriber count to get monetized on YouTube. I want to get monetized so I can pour every single dollar back into making these videos, showing you different motorcycles or cars that I find interesting and tinkering with them. Maybe buy a project car or something. I think I forgot to signal there. So once again, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you have a great day. Let's try that again, because that sounded awkward as all get up. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.